Hello and welcome to this presentation on avoiding plagiarism. My name is Jessica Wilkinson and I'm your liaison librarian. We're doing this to help you succeed in doing university level research and writing, to introduce guidelines for citing sources properly, to present QMU's policy on plagiarism, and to provide sources for help. The learning outcome is for you to understand what plagiarism is and how you can avoid it. You need to always give credit to other people's work and ideas. Acknowledge your source even if only quoted briefly in your paper, and follow the QMU rules for referencing. Now I have a few of these true and false slides. If I don't plagiarize on purpose, I will not be penalized. Well, this is false. Rule number 1 is to always give proper credit. Information copied from the internet must be cited. This one is true. Rule number 2 is to always cite material used from the internet. And here's an example of that. According to the US Department of Transport, airline passengers in 2003 attempted to bring more than 6 million illegal weapons of various types onto passenger flights, see Figure 2, even though new regulations went into effect after the events of September 11, 2001. And as you can see here, there's a reference to Figure 2, which is here on the right-hand side. And underneath the table, there's a reference to the US Department of Transport 2016, Table 2 to 6. So anyone reading this essay or dissertation will be able to see where this information came from. And at the end, in the reference list, is a full reference to this, with the author, which is quite long in this example, in capitals, followed by the year it was published, the title in italics, the word online in square brackets, because this was taken from an online resource, and then in another set of square brackets, the date that this person viewed it, and then at the end it's the URL, which is not hyperlinked. So this means that if anyone wants to go and check this information to check that it's being used properly, it's really easy to do. Now I have a few examples coming up, and they're all taken from this article, Mayer, JM, 2006, Another Inconvenient Truth, an article published in the Journal Dissent, volume 53, number 4, pages 95 to 96. Plagiarism or not. So I have a few examples coming up with the original text and then a student's use of that information. And if you want to take a little bit longer to decide whether you think this is plagiarism or not, before I reveal the answer, then please just pause the recording. So the original text in this example is, ironically, by being in the wonkiest context imaginable, he comes across as passionate, sincere, and likable. And the student's written, Go's presentation on a stage before an academic audience is the wonkiest context imaginable. Now, do you think this is plagiarism or not? Well, it is. Rule number 3 is always cite short phrases or quotations. And this is how we would fix it. Because the last bit here, the wonkiest context imaginable, that's something that the student hasn't thought up themselves. That's taken straight from the original source. So there needs to be quotation marks there, followed by a reference with the author, the year, and the page number where that quotation can be found. And another example. The original text is, his clear graphs and often captivating images can propel viewers to the conclusion that climate change is a present and fast-paced reality, rather than a far-off and slowly evolving possibility. And the student's written, Go's visuals help people realize, and then in quotation marks, that climate change is a present and fast-paced reality, rather than a far-off and slowly evolving possibility. What do you think now? Do you think this is plagiarism or not? It's still plagiarism. Rule number 3 is always cite short phrases or quotations. So again, we need to add in a reference here. So Mayer 2006, page 95. The next one, original text. Environmentalists often diagnose public opinion as a key obstacle to effective action on concerns, including climate change. And the student's written, public opinion is often blamed by environmentalists as a major roadblock to effective action on issues such as global warming. What do you think now? Do you think this is plagiarism or not? It is still plagiarism. Rule number 4, always cite paraphrased ideas. So again, we need to put in a reference here to show that this isn't something that we thought up ourselves. This is something we've taken from a written source. So at the end here, the author and the year in brackets. And the next one. Gore also delivers his message well. He simplifies the science without oversimplifying. The student's use of this is, Gore's effective presentation is balanced and well designed for the general public. And then in quotation marks, he simplifies the science without oversimplifying. And then we have a reference here, May 2006, page 95. Do you think this is plagiarism or not? No, the student has done this correctly. And here's another example. So it's the same original text again, and the student has this time written, Gore's effective presentation is balanced and well designed for the general public. And then in quotation marks, he simplifies the science without oversimplifying. And then we have a reference, Gore 2006, page 95. Do you think this is plagiarism? It's not plagiarism, but rule number 5 is, always provide an accurate citation. And in this case, the student had written Gore in the reference at the end. But this, even though the text is talking about Gore doing a presentation, Gore is not the author of the article. That's May 2006, page 95. And in this case, a student has written an assignment in December 2015, and then another assignment in April 2016. And they realized that they can reuse part of their old assignment. So they have cut and pasted a part of a paragraph from their old essay into the new one. Now, do you think this is okay? Is this plagiarism or not? It is plagiarism. Rule number 6 is, don't self-plagiarize. So to fix this, the student would need to rewrite this paragraph. So they don't have to, they can still use the information, but they have to reword it and make sure they don't self-plagiarize when they use this information again. And a few more of these true and false statements. There is no way for my lecturer to tell if I've copied a few words here and there. Well, this is false. But how can they tell? Well, the software that we use at the university called Turn It In, and this scans your text that you've submitted and compares it to other texts. So published texts, text from the internet, and texts submitted by students in the past. They can also cut and paste paragraphs into Google and see if you've copied something straight off the internet. They can ask you about questionable passages that they think you might not have written yourself. And also, university staff tend to just know if something isn't quite right. If I get caught plagiarizing, I can get into trouble. Well, this is true. Rule number 7 is, don't think that you can get away with it. Plagiarism cases at Queen Margaret University. If you plagiarize, you will fail the assignment or module. And we also have regulations on plagiarism that will come into effect if you plagiarize something. So to repeat, the 7 academic integrity rules are: you must not present another person's work as your own. You need to give proper credit to internet sites. You need to use quotation marks when using, quoting, or even a brief phrase, and include in-text citations. Make sure you cite paraphrase ideas. Record thoroughly and accurately all sources that you've used. Don't recycle your own work. That's called self-plagiarism. Do not think that you can get away with plagiarism. If you need further help, you can speak to the ELS team or your liaison librarian. And please read the Write and Cite guide to find out how to reference properly. Have a look at university policy and also check your module handbooks and course documents. If you have any questions or problems and you want to get in touch with me, please contact me. My name is Jessica Wilkinson and my email address is jwilkinson@qmu.ac.uk. That's all I have for you on plagiarism, so thank you very much for watching this and best of luck with all your assignments. Bye for now.